Real quick, before we get into this video, I just wanted to say I am not a financial advisor. I have no background besides my own personal experience. And legally, I don't think I can tell you to buy something or not to buy something. So take all this with a grain of salt and don't copy what I'm doing. Um, just learn from it. Learn from it and then make your own choices and decisions when it comes to investing. Thank you. All of this information is just my opinion. I don't have any degrees or background yet. So, that being said, enjoy the video. Today, we're going to be doing a dive into the transformative impact of artificial intelligence on the market. From revolutionizing industries to helping us live day by day lives or even at work, AI has become an undeniable force in these innovative times. So, how does this all relate with stocks? How do we make money off this? Well, as software companies start to develop their own AI, some of these companies are going to be public on the stock market and you can actually invest in them. The main one I've been looking at is Palantir. And this stock has made me a lot of money and its growth is kind of crazy. All right, here's the stock Palantir. Right now it's sitting at $26. Um, as you can see right here, this is where the stock kind of shot off. Before that, it's been staying around, around the $16, $17 range, but now it's seeing a surge, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. For Palantir, I actually ended up buying 100 shares myself, as you can see right down here. And although I am down on this position, that is only because I did this the other day around this zone. And of course, I had a little bit of pullback, but that's okay. That's the cool thing about the market. When you're owning shares, it's okay to have a little bit of drawdown because that means you could just buy more shares at a discounted price. The cool thing about Palantir is that there is actually two sides of their applications with AI. The first one is just for consumer use. And what this means is just for normal retailers or normal stores. What they actually do is they compile and collect the data of the company and find out maybe where their profits are losing and how they could improve. I believe one example of this is they'll see where in your store is like the hottest place, so where do most people travel through, and then they'll find the product that sells the most, and so then they'll put it over there. The company has to buy their AI, and that's what they've been focusing on in the past. However, they actually just signed a crazy deal with the US government to use their AI to create I'm pretty sure it was a vehicle for the US government for like military use. Looks like I was mistaking. It's actually for something else. As you can take a look, $178.4 million contract from the U.S. government focused on AI. So if our own U.S. government is doing a contract with this company, chances are it's a company that's going to stick around and continue to grow as they produce more products. As you can see right here, talks more about it with artificial intelligence, and it says the contract will fund the Tactical Intelligence Targeting Access Node, Titan, ground station system that collects data for long-range precision fires. Which that's kind of interesting. That's kind of cool. Taking a look back at the stock, as you can see, I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, so this was the reason why the stock had a nice little pump right there, because it was they just released the contract with the U.S. government. So that's pretty cool, and that's kind of why I have some long-term. This is a long-term hold for me. It may not jump up to $50 within the next week or month. However, I do believe that this stock could continue to grow. The only issue with it is right now it's at its all-time peak. So if we go to the 1 year or even 5 years, you can see that it just continues. Oh, it's actually now at all-time peak. Okay, 35, it's all-time peak. But it's slowly climbing up there. But yeah, compared to a lot of other technology stocks, it's consistently growing and shooting up versus just a nice, consistent. It's been green on all of the marks besides today. But I'm going to open up another position live for you guys to kind of get an idea as to how I do my trades. The position I'm going to open is called a leap, which I believe I showed you that in a previous video. I showed that I had an open contract on Palantir. Um, I actually did it around. I think it was around here. I did a leap, which is just saying I'm buying a call that expires in a year. So I did like a $17 leap, saying, okay, I think this stock is gonna continue to go up um, for the course of a year, and then it did. It shot up to around right over here, and I did end up selling that position, but that was because the contract made 50% profit. So I was happy with that. So I just collected that, um, and that was a good thing because then the stock tended to consolidate right there. So not a lot of big upward movements at this current time. Although it is going up consistently, it's not like a huge movement. Anyways, let's open up a position. So if you remember from my past video explaining what everything is and what you need to focus on, I'm going to be buying a call option, and I'm going to put the expiration date out quite a little bit. Let me see here. Now I'm sure there's some way you can find the best expiration date for the most profit for leaps. Uh, However, I'm not sure, so I'm just gonna choose whatever feels best. Um, let's go around August, see how that goes. Gotcha. So the current share price right here, $26, and I'm going to go in the money versus out of the money, just for a more safe play. And the great thing about this is that with options, you carry a lot of leverage. I told that in my other videos, and I'm going to continue to say it. Um, and so here's the example. Right here, okay, this is going to, if I buy a call at the $26 strike price, it's going to cost me, remember, you got to move that decimal over twice. It's going to cost me $485. That's going to be my max loss. And this is a contract saying I have the rights to 100 shares at this strike price. But if you look back to how much a 100 share cost, it costs $2,600. So obviously there's a big difference there. And that's what it means when I say you have more leverage with stock options. There's more, you can put more money in and make the same amount. I'm probably just going to wait for this to honestly return back to its previous levels, maybe hit another high, and then sell it. I honestly just, what I did is I sold a put around these marks, and I collected the premium. Let me see. I sold a put, and my contract got executed, meaning I had to buy the 100 shares at the price I chose. So I did get to collect, you remember, move it over. I got to collect the $100, but I was forced to buy 100 shares at the price, which is totally fine. Did down a little bit. I'm just going to wait for it to go back up and probably sell it. All right, let's go back into buying a leap option. I'm gonna find a strike I'm comfortable with. The stock just had a little pullback. So usually what happens is when a stock shoots up, it has a large room of volatility. There's a lot of liquidity. So there's a lot of people put in a lot of prices that weren't bought. So here, let me actually pull up a full view for you guys. So the only issue with the stock that recently just had a huge surge is that right here, there's a lot of liquidity right here. So let's just say, for example, someone they sold a put in between these two right here. So in between 24 and 25, but because the stock jumped up in such a short period of time, their contract wasn't able to be executed. And so they're still left with an open contract that was never executed. So a lot of the times the market, when a stock will shoot up like this, the market might dip back down to actually execute some of these contracts. It's kind of weird how it works, but the banks kind of control everything. Now, this usually works better with larger stocks, so I would find QQQ or SPY, where you can actually make some money off of this. As you can see, there was one right here, huge pump up, a lot of liquidity, so the stock consolidated, and then it went back down to collect all of those contracts that were open. And then same thing right here, shot up, and then they had to collect some of those contracts. Going back to the leap, I'm gonna find it. I chose the July 19th expiration dates. $26 strike price. As you can see, the stock goes up. I'll make some more money, and I'm actually going to buy 2 of these contracts. So just go up here, and that's the great thing about options is once you find a strategy that works for you, whether it's doing leaps or doing a few other different strategies like a call credit spread or the wheel strategy. Instead of just doing this one contract, all you got to do is click on it, change it to 2, and boom. And now you're doing it twice. So you can get twice as much profit. However, you can lose twice as much. So you do have to be careful when doing this. So one thing you're going to have to pay attention to when you are dealing with stock options is going to be the bid and the ask price, which all this is really talking about is supply and demand. So how much you're selling it for and how much you're buying it for. Here's a great explanation right here. The bid ask is the difference between the highest price that a buyer is willing to pay for an asset and the lowest price that a seller is willing to accept. So the whole point is to make sure that you're getting the right fill and you're buying at a good price and then selling it at an even better price. The issue that a lot of people come in contact with is they aren't comfortable with this. So maybe, okay, I don't want to pay $415 for this contract. I just want to pay $400. But as you can see, my max cost is less. Yeah, I'll just change it back to one contract. And you can see here, I'll punch in some numbers and you can see the difference. So right now, if you just go at the 0.4, max loss is going to be 400. So you're choosing when you get to buy the contract. The only issue with this is, as you can see, there's a low likelihood of this being filled. No one is willing to sell me this call. So I talked earlier about buying and selling options. Right now, I'm buying a long call, but right now it is difficult because no one is going to buy that call at this price because they won't make any money. So even though it's good for me, it's not great for the bankers. So anyways, you got to try to find and navigate throughout these numbers, try and find one you're comfortable with owning. Right there, it's a medium likelihood, and you pay a little less. So I'm just going to go ahead and enter this position. Let's see. I'll do it 2. So max loss 830 because you take the amount for one contract and times it by 100, and that's so much for the one contract. And I'm opening 2, so just times that by 2. There we go. Sorry, there were a bunch of hurdles right there. But boom, done. So I opened that position. I think it's executed. Let me see. As you see, we're doing it's Green Day today. Man, peaked at like 200. That's pretty nice. That's just because I bought a lot of Shiba. Normally, I'm not a big crypto guy, but this stock has been really hot recently, so I decided to jump in. I think I only have like $900 in there. Average price around there, and that's the average price currently. The great thing about crypto that is very cheap is you can buy a lot of shares. So right now I have 27 million shares. I probably will close this position soon. I'm going to wait till it hits the next high. I'm not encouraging you to invest in this, by the way. This is kind of a more risky play. But there's just been a lot of talk about it. And yeah, my brother actually, he got in. So this stock right there, boom, 286% this past month. My brother entered in right over here, so he caught the whole thing. And I think he even had a peak right there at like the 370 mark, which is crazy. He was up like $600 on an initial like $200 investment, which is great. This was just supposed to be a quick video showing off this stock Palantir. It's been doing some great things, and I really do think it's going to go up eventually. Might just take some time. Right now, you could do some strategies to make money in between, but I'm just trying to do a more passive play right now. So I just bought a few shares. Once it goes up, I'll probably sell because I do have those calls going, those long calls. So if you're weighing between buying shares of a stock versus doing a long call, it's really just up to you and how long you're willing to wait and how much money you're willing to put in there. If you don't have a lot of capital to begin with, I probably lean more towards options because, again, you get that leverage. But if you don't mind owning the stock, then own the stock. Or if there's a dividend stock that you don't mind owning, that would be really smart. Buy a bunch of shares of that, and so you just get paid while you're holding it. That's the beauty of growth dividend stocks. With that being said, thank you for checking out the video, and let me know in the comments what else you would like to see. I'm going to be doing another of my own strategy video next, so stay tuned.